Guys, this is Casey Connolly with Astrologically Sound. It's my final video for the Mercury Retrograde Fall 2022 series. I think it's going to be my final video anyways. So, I don't know if I just said all that correctly. I've been recording for several hours now, but anyways, so this is the third of this is the third and final of the three that I'm doing 4 signs each, where I'm running through the ascendant chart, where I'm going through the ascendant and sun signs, each of you guys, to show what you might experience through this particular retrograde phase in September and October 2022. So I've done the first video was Aries through Cancer. The second video that I did is uploading right now. It was Leo to Scorpio, and this third one and last one, yay, is from Sagittarius to Pisces. So it's going to be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Yay. And I will go ahead and include timestamps below in the description box for each of the signs, so you can click right to your sign and not wait through everyone else. And before I jump into Sagittarius, though, I would like to include over here somewhere from my amazing artiste and BFF Victoria Musgrove with Flower Heart Studio, the beautiful Mercury Retrograde glyph that she created, one of many glyphs that she's going to be creating for me on this channel. And she's the one who created my beautiful intro video last week that is now part of my videos from here on out. And I will have her information if you would like to connect with her for her videography or for photography or artistry skills in my description box. If you'd like to get a hold of her before her website's up, please contact me. And yeah, so let's get rolling, people. So we are on Sagittarius. I'm an Uber Sagittarius, so this is very much pertinent for me. Woo, darling. Let me get a drinky. Or roll anything. So Sagittarius rising and sun signs. Now, again, I'm doing this for this, so this information is exactly accurate for the rising signs, but for the sun signs, we're kind of doing an experiment, and we're going to see if it works out for the sun signs. Plug and play, see if it works out, and you'll give me feedback if it works out for the sun signs. So Sagittarius rising and sun signs, you guys have from September 9th to the 23rd. You guys start the Mercury retrograde in Libra in the 11th house of networking, the World Wide Web, astrology, sometimes trauma, but definitely healing. Definitely the house of detachment sometimes, or yes, detachment. And so let's see. So we have Mercury retrograde in the relationship sign of the other. So we have it's interesting doing my own sign. I have to be detached. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. So in the beginning of September, we definitely have, you're being asked to, with your significant other, if you have a romantic partner or the main people in your life, you're being asked to take a step back, or to not, I guess, be so close up, you know, like take a step back and be a little, like be the observer, be a little bit more detached than normal, I suppose. To not allow yourself to be, I guess, like Cancer, or like have such a thin skin, like where your heart is on your sleeve as much, I suppose, where you're so raw. And because I guess that would mean that because potentially you don't, because communication and anything that's said or communicated to you, you don't want to blow up or get hurt or be ultra vulnerable. You know, you want to definitely have perspective and be objective about it, not subjective. And I'd also say that if you have any projects that you had put on the back burner or that you had wanted to, that you had put to the wayside or in the back of the closet that had to do with astrology or or you know, content creation on the internet or connecting to people in the World Wide Web, that also might have to do with relationships or relationship counseling or romance or couples, whatever, connecting to people one-on-one or in groups over the internet. This is definitely a great time to drag that project out from the back of the closet and start pouring energy into it and start fleshing it out. And if it's already fleshed out, then edit it and then start polishing it up. Because after Mercury retrograde, it probably would be great to launch, and it would probably bring you a lot of happiness and good juju and success. So that's a really specific thing there. Also, you might find yourself having to play peacemaker or harmonizer or mediator online amongst groups of people or in a networking situation. And if you're like doing online, or if you're in like-minded groups of people doing like spiritual things, or any kind of group of like-minded people, you might find yourself having to play mediator or peacemaker because wires got crossed, somebody got snippy, because you're in the Libra energy with your Mercury there, and Libra are the peacemakers or harmonizers, the mediators. And I just got to download that you might, if you are in a romantic relationship, your romantic partner might feel that you're spending too much time networking or with your groups of people that you like to, like the like-minded groups of people that you like to learn from or hang out with, your socializing groups. Your romantic partner might get a little bug up their butt, a little irritated, and might want to spend more time with you. Might think that you're being a little too impersonal with them and isolating yourself from them, and you might be too much of a jet setter, Sagittarius, and they might want you to prioritize them more and your socializing groups less during the beginning of September. And you'll have to make a decision on that one and use your words and decide on that one. And then also, if you have a website for any reason, for entrepreneurship or anything like that, you might be changing the aesthetics of it, because Libra is art and aesthetics and beauty and balance. So you might be dressing up your web space, your little corner on the web. And yeah. You also might find that if you are a content creator online, you might find that random people that you know or don't know might be projecting on you for reasons or no reasons. So you might have to place boundaries down to say that that's you and I'm me, and there's a divide between us. Thank you, but I'm not you and you're not me, because that could be Libra, Aries, first house, seventh house stuff. So Sagittarius rising and sun, you guys are going to be segueing into Mercury in Virgo retrograde from September 23rd to October 2nd. in the 10th house of vocation and career. So money making, really, because we have Virgo here. Virgo and Capricorn energy together is very grounded, very earth energy, lots of money, lots of duty and service energy. So let's see. The latter half of September, beginning October. I would say you might really put the nose to the grindstone and really prioritize your work, your career, your vocation, your heart of hearts when it comes to your job, to your work. Your 9-to-5 job that you earn money might really blend very nicely with what your career vocation, your destined life path of like vocational pursuit, those might really blend seamlessly for you in September, October, which is beautiful. But it also might mean that, well, see, you might have, okay, let me put it this way too. You might have an opportunity to drag out a project that, let me put it, hold on. Maybe a 9-to-5 job that you're working, maybe you can network and climb up the ladder and actually open your sphere a bit and actually reach higher, like the mountain goat, Capricorn, and actually elevate your 9-to-5 job, money earning job, and then actually transition it into more of a vocation, career, dream job type thing that you'd want it to be. And I think that the, September, October, it might be a time where you start thinking about doing that and assessing the lay of the land and how can you start making your moves? How can you start, your Pallas Athena, that asteroid in your chart is very much about strategizing and intellect, the chess pieces. I really wonder where that's in your chart. It looks like this. I wonder where that is for you in your chart, but Pallas Athena or Pallas Athene, it's like a shield. But and if you want to look it up like on I'll put it in the description box, but there's a good I think there's a good website that I know that you can look up the meanings for, but I'm just blanking on it right now. Is it astrocafe.com or something? I don't know. But it might be able to tell, like, for some reason I think there would be a connection to it for your guys' chart. But anyway, sorry, segue. Yeah, so where the hell was I? So yeah, I'm talking about how to move your 9-to-5 money making job that's really not that exciting into a more inspired career vocational pursuit. And I think that with Mercury in retrograde, latter half of September, beginning October, you might start moving the chess pieces and thinking about how can you do that, because there might be an opportunity that comes up, or you might really be looking at the time clock and being like, you know what, I'm getting really restless as a Sagittarius right now, and I'm like, I gotta transition somehow. I gotta start thinking about the long term and my legacy, which is also 10th house stuff. And I want to leave behind a mark in the world, and I want to utilize my time, the rest of my time on this planet, or at least the next 10, 15, I don't know, 5 years, 25 years, doing something more aligned with my soul purpose. So I really think that it might be a good time to start finding out what that'll be for you, you know, and it might have to do with your Pallas Athena asteroid. Check it out, see what it says. But yeah, Virgo has to do with duty, honor, and service. So, you know, you know, and health, and I don't know if your vocation might have to do with you know, a holistic approach to health, or maybe even being of service to people. I also am noticing that the Virgin archetype, that I didn't mention it in my fourth video where I was talking about the sixth archetype of Virgo and the sixth house, but the Virgin archetype, as I see it, is a woman beholden to no one. It's like in the Celtic tradition, she is independent. She jumped through some hoops, did some things the rules were, and she qualified in order to not owe society around her anything, and owe anyone any fealty or be in debt to anyone. And so she's very, very independent, and that for some reason might have to do with something here too, not sure. But and also Virgo archetype are the fixers and the problem finders, and the fix-it guys, the solution finders. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with what your vocation or career would be. I hope I made sense. I felt like I was all over the place here, but you know, the 10th house really has to do with legacy and how you're seen by the public, and vocation, and your life path. So, and with Mercury being in retrograde in Virgo, it really has to do with going back to the drawing board and saying, how can I change? How can I do this a change for the better, for the betterment of my legacy of going forward? Because time is ticking. That's Saturn rules this house. All right, Sagittarius, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I squish you so much. Please comment down below if any of that resonated, and if any of the experiences come to pass. I'd love to hear from you or any of your questions. Okay, bye. Hey, Capricorn rising and or sun signs. So Cappies, my mom's a Capricorn. So Capricorns, you guys from September 9th to the 23rd are experiencing Mercury retrograde in Libra in the 10th house, your own house, actually. Because you Capricorn naturally rules the 10th house of legacy, vocation, career, how you're seen publicly, and yeah, public accolades and rewards, life path and destiny. So let's see. So Mercury in retrograde in Libra is about your main partner, your main romantic partner. If you don't have a romantic partner right now, it could be the main person or people in your life that you interact with, the other. But Mercury in retrograde, so you might be having to balance romance with work, you know, pursuing your life's work and legacy and public persona versus your relationship to your romantic partner or the main people in your life. You might be having miscommunication issues also in that realm with your romantic partner and the people in your life. Or you also might be in your career vocation, you might be dealing with a lot of, like, if you're a therapist or if you're at work, if you're a therapist, you might be having a lot of like relationship romance stuff that are coming up for your clients. Or let's say you're at the workplace and there seems to be a lot of romance drama that's being brought into the workplace. Or maybe you're a marketer, you do marketing, and all of a sudden you have a lot of projects that have to do with romance and products that are geared towards couples. But you know, and it seems to be kind of it might have a flavor of miscommunication and having to do a lot of re-edits. It might have to do a lot of like going back to the drawing board a lot of the time. Reassessments and stuff doesn't go very smoothly. So also Libra has to do with beauty and aesthetics and art, the artiste in a way. So you also might be exploring or going over your artwork, your aesthetic. You might, if you work with art, you might be going over, you know, a series of sculptures that you've done or paintings, because that's actually a vocation that you're in. You might be ready for your art series to go public, to be publicly displayed, like for a showing, and you're meticulously going over all of the pieces or the fashion line or even your chapters in your book to make sure everything's edited and everything's aligned just right. And you might also have, your partner might also be receiving, your romantic partner might also be experiencing a lot of hassles, this, you know, in their vocation or career, with communication issues, and or they might have been expecting to receive a reward or an accolade, but there's some kind of hiccup with it, or you might be dealing with that. Hopefully not, but it might be a little delayed, and but hopefully it'll be coming down the pipeline soon. And you might also have to play peacemaker or mediator in your career, at the workplace too, because Libra are the balancers, or the peacemakers, harmonizers. So in the latter half of so from September 23rd to October 2nd, Capricorns, you guys are segueing into the 9th house with Mercury in Virgo retrograde. So this is ruled by Sagittarius energy, the 9th archetype. So end of September, beginning October, you guys, this is traveling energy. This is exploratory. This is exploring energy. What's on the horizons, right? This is a very Sagittarian energy, like my energy. So Cap risings and Capricorn sun signs. You might be having to go over travel details at this time, end of September, beginning October. You might have to be putting more work in to earn more money for travel plans later on in the year. You might have to you might be also assessing overindulgence, because Jupiter rules the 9th house, and overindulgence is Jupiter sometimes, but Virgo is health. So you might be trying to cut back on overindulgences that you might have been indulging in and trying to cut back on some things, whatever that might be for you, Capricorns, in order to lose weight, or to get maybe your diabetic numbers better, your heart numbers better, maybe cut back on the alcohol or smoking or sugar or caffeine, whatever it might be, gluten, I'm not quite sure, but whatever it is for you. It might even be screen time or Netflix time, you know. And yeah, and you might actually explore your surroundings. You might walk, you might expand your periphery more, because Virgo is very much about duty and just nose the grindstone a little bit, and just kind of let's go, let's do it. And so you might just like pound the pavement and just start walking and like just walking more around your neighborhood or your local park and expand your periphery and explore. Very Sagittarius energy. And you might like more independence too, Capricorns. You guys might like you guys might get a little bit of hiccups though about expressing your independence because of Mercury retrograde here though. You might have to put your foot down and prove like that, no, I can do, you know, because it's like I was just saying before with the Virgin archetype, with the Celtic tradition. I didn't mention this in my 4th video with the 6th archetype. I was explaining Virgo and the 6th house, but the Celtic tradition of the Virgin archetype is about is really about like the an independent woman beholden to no one, because she jumped through the hoops and she qualified to be indebted to no one, and didn't have to answer to anyone. And it was really, really cool because she was really, really independent, and it was really cool. So with this Virgo energy, with paired with Mercury retrograde in the 9th house, I feel that Capricorns, you might be wanting to express your independence and to expand your horizons around you, but you might have some kickback. I don't know, from siblings, because that's Mercury, or maybe it's from your 9-to-5 job, because that's also Virgo. I don't know who or what it'd be from, but 9th house, maybe it'd be 9th house is also dogma and religion and politics, so maybe it's the man, you know, I don't know, or maybe it's like kind of that structure, but or the way that we're supposed to act, you know. And you might be like, you know, I'm Capricorn and I'm usually pretty straight and narrow, but I have proof of why. I'm sure you'd have proof of why this is okay to expand your fences, and you know, you want to do it for health reasons or just boredom or just whatever, and you'll be able to keep on your merry way. So that's what I kind of felt and downloaded. So yeah, and the 9th house also might have to do with Virgo energy being like that they like to study things. You might also feel like you want to study more like religion, or a deep dive into some politics or philosophy. But you might have some hiccups with that too because of Mercury. But you might go over some subjects that you want to dive into again, that have to do with religion or spirituality, or religion and dogma versus spirituality, philosophy, politics, all that, government, all that kind of stuff, you know, whatever floats your boat. So Capricorn, I hope that resonated for you. Please put in the comments below anything that might have resonated for you, and include any questions you might have, and also if any experiences come true for you. I'd love to hear from you guys, and build a community here. Love you guys. Hi, Aquarian. So Aquarian rising or Aquarian sun signs. I'm Aquarian rising, so this is definitely for me too. I don't know if you can hear, but it is pouring rain outside my window. So hopefully you're enjoying the beautiful rain sounds or anything. So for Aquarians, September 9th through September 23rd. Oh, my hair is bothering me. Hold on. My Libra's coming out. Okay. So still bothering me. Hold on. Picky. Okay. So Aquarian rising, Aquarian sun signs, you guys have from what am I gonna do? From September 9th to September 23rd, you guys have Mercury in Libra going retrograde in your 9th house. So Libra is the sign of the other. So committed partnership. So you know, if you have a romantic other, your main squeeze, let's say, this is who I'm talking about, or it could be the main people in your life. But this is definitely talking about communication with your romantic partner, the main people in your life, and you guys might be talking about or going on, travel is definitely topic of discussion perhaps, or arguments. Hopefully not arguments, but hopefully there's not miswires of miscommunication. In your main relationship, there might be sorry, bug. There might be, in your main relationship, there might be discussions or a yearning for expansion of boundaries. You guys might want to explore together, so hence traveling. The ninth house also talks about philosophy, politics, dogma, and religion versus spirituality. So just be careful that things don't get heated with discussions on topics like that. Aquarians and Sagittarius, the two archetypes we're dealing with here, love to talk about all sorts of things like that, are very open-minded, but just be careful that peacemaking and mediation, the Libra sign here, isn't needed because people are getting too hot-headed, you know, because Mercury is really prone to furk up the communications here, okay, guys? And however, it also makes relationships very open-minded with that Sagittarius energy. It could also be a time where, with Mercury being in retrograde, that you might be assessing how open-minded or how well matched or how balanced is you and your partner. Or are you attracting romantic partners into your life that are matched well with your philosophies in life? You know, how are you communicating and projecting yourself out there in order to attract partners, love partners to you that are a good match for your personality, you know, for your belief systems? That might be something that you're assessing and thinking about as an Aquarian rising or Aquarian sun sign. And Libra also represents art and aesthetics and beauty. So you might be really thinking about that connected to your committed partnership and related to that, I guess that would be, you could relate that to travel and expansion of your world, foreign cultures. So you might be thinking of how hot foreign people are, how attracted you are to foreign people, the foreign cultures, and how people and the people who are different from you just really float your boat. And also different mindsets too. That's within this realm too. But there might be, again, miswires and crisscross communication because of the climate, the world climate and stuff like that, and it might be frustrating. You might want to be careful on how we connect to people so we don't offend people, and we can have deeper connections with people that are true and authentic so we don't offend people, but we're able to engender the genuine outcome that we were hoping for, you know, and not a misfire. So for Aquarian rising and sun sign people, we're segueing into the 8th house in Virgo energy from September 23rd to October 2nd. Mercury retrograde in Virgo energy, 8th house. So what is this? How is this? So Virgo is very critical and very able to pick out the problems here. But Aquarius, we have the 8th house of sexual union with two people. We also have death, taxes, and the taboo, all the things that we don't talk about in polite society. 8th house is ghosts and mediumship. All the things that we shove under the rug that we don't want to deal with usually. But it's very deep stuff too. It's a Scorpio archetype, so it's deep connection, sexually, but also emotionally, psychologically, you know. It's connected to Pluto as well. So with Virgo, with Mercury and Virgo retrograde here for Aquarians, perhaps it also deals with the occult as well, and the spiritual stuff. So, and crisis stuff, crisis mode. I would think that perhaps you're taking a critical view of all those things I mentioned, and what are some of the crisis situations that you've had to deal with in your life, maybe that are coming to a head at the end of September, beginning October, or coming up for healing in your life, perhaps. Because maybe some of the things are, maybe you're getting triggered or gaslit by them, and it's like, no, maybe you're realizing how much you've healed already, and you can say, no, thank you, I could like you know, wipe that away, and you know, I've up leveled an incredible amount. Or maybe you realize how much that you need to reassess, and maybe go to therapy or try a different healing modality to try to heal the triggers that are popping up for you. Because the 8th house, the 8th archetype, is the deep and dark, and when we really attack those dragons in those caves and within us, we bring up the gold. We become the person we become empowered instead of controlled by the darkness. You know, that's the beauty of it. So I think we might also find, so Virgo archetype is 9 to 5 jobs, so we might also find a way to, we might be assessing how we can make money, or, you know, bring in some income doing occult or spiritual type tasks or jobs. If there was a project or an inkling that we wanted to enter entrepreneurship, or a job that has to do with taxes or finances, dealing with other people's money, death, like mortuary services or death doula, stuff like that, therapy, spirituality or occult stuff, metaphysics, yeah, things like that. Definitely it might be a time to go back to the drawing board and see if you want to start studying, going to school, or apply yourself to those types of career fields, and you might be able to make some real money at it after retrograde, after the retrograde is over with. Or if you're already in those fields, keep going at it, because you're probably on the right track there. And well, it got really quiet, man. The rain stopped. Then it got really quiet. And yeah, so you might also be thinking about what can be fixed in your sex life, because you know, the critic, the fixers, the solution finders, the problem seekers is the Virgo archetype, and it's in the 8th house of sex and romance, or stuff like that. So you might be taking a deeper look at what your intimate life might be needing adjustment with, and coming up with solutions. So that is awesome. And also holistic, with the Virgo archetype, you might be coming up with holistic approaches to the healing, if there's any needed for that there. So my dear Aquarian risings and Aquarian suns, I love you guys so much. Thank you for viewing so far. I hope some of this resonated for you and was interesting. If any did resonate, please comment down below your thoughts and any questions, and also please let me know if any of this comes true for you. I would love to have a community of you guys here, and I squish you and take care. Bye. Hola, Pisces, you guys are the last, but definitely not least. I squish you guys so much. So yeah, for Pisces rising and sun signs, you guys are experiencing your beginning of the Mercury retrograde, September 9th to September 23rd in the 8th house. So Mercury in retrograde in Libra in the 8th house of sexual union, sometimes crisis mode, crisis moments, but also so sex, death, taxes, ghost, mediumship, occult, spirituality, metaphysics, the deep stuff within us, the dragons that we pull out from the depths to get the gold from the shiz, you know, to heal. And so all the stuff that all the taboo stuff that we don't want to talk about in polite society. So with Mercury being in Libra of the sign of the other relationship, so if you have a main squeeze, if you have a partner, a romantic partner, I'm going to be focusing on them, or if you have some main people in your life that you interact with, they could also be them. But that would be kind of weird in this house. But I don't know. Just with the sexual part. But anyways, friends with benefits, I don't know. But so you might, with Mercury in retrograde with Libra here, 8th house, you might be dealing with so inheritances comes up with 8th house. So I'm not sure if there's been, or maybe you guys are dealing with wills that you guys are like making sure that everything is lined up for that. And I'm not portending a death, please, no, at all. But like if you already know that something was already lined up and something already happened, that means that you can expect that things will be tied up in a bow already during this time, most likely. So also your partner might oddly like say, hey, why don't we like book a mediumship event like for couples, like during, because Halloween's coming up, or Samhain is coming up, and you might not expect that, or maybe you do, but yeah, that might be something, because occult and mediumship is ruled by this house, and it's with your romantic partner or someone you're really close to. But there might be, yeah, so you might be off-footed by it because of Mercury retrograde being there. And there might be a disconnect communication-wise with your romantic partner, and sex might play into it, the union of bodies. You guys might have a hard time with the intimate part of your relationship, or maybe the intimacy is the one part that isn't having a problem. It depends on your situation, Pisces. And the intimacy actually might be the one way, because might be the road to the solution, because the 8th house is opposite the 2nd house. So the 2nd house is going to be the medicine to this problem, if there is a problem. And the 2nd house is the body. So connecting to the body, the 5 senses. So I would say that perhaps in Aries, so perhaps being more sensual with each other and stuff like that, being more grounded in the bodies and touching and sensual like that is probably might be a little bit healing for you guys if you're having communication issues in your relationships. And there might be arguments or disagreements over, like, because this rules taxes, this rules again inheritances, money of other shared money. So there might be crap there, you know, the horrible discussion of shared accounts, you know, be careful of that. And or just there might be a lot of stress, there might be stress about that, about trying to get all the ducks in a row for where's the money in our joint accounts or in our finances. We have to get all our ducks in a row over the next couple months, because things, you know, we have to get all of our ish together. But the sex is good. So yeah. And again with Libra, art. So Libra is about art and aesthetic and the artiste. So you might really be Pisces rising and Pisces sun signs. You guys might really be enjoying your art creating and going over your art. You might be getting ready to you guys really might be doing a deep dive and really connecting to your art, like, and because the 8th house is a joining of souls and bodies between two people. But I'm really seeing as also that your art, that you and your art, if you are an artist, a content creator of any kind, a writer, a lyricist, a poet, a videographer, a illustrator, painter, sculptor, whatever, a singer, I feel like you and your art, you and your creation are like really doing a deep dive and a real like almost union together in the beginning of September, most of September. It's really cool. Really cool, very esoteric, but very awesome. Like a blending of soul and soul. You're really getting to know your art in that way. And getting really down and dirty and personal with it. And it's like almost like when they talk about getting to know your why story, you're getting to know your create, like why your creation, like why, like not really, you be embodying it in a way, like looking out, like becoming your creation and looking out from inside, you know, like having eyes and looking out. Am I making sense? Like if you were like you're inside your painting, you're looking out from it, you know? So yeah. And then and the only thing to be also to be careful of is that because of the heightened physical intimacy of this month of September, that it's like probably a lot is pretty good. Just to make sure that codependency or you know, mirroring or like you know, attaching too strongly doesn't creep in, because the physical intimacy might be really good for you guys, for you Pisceans. So just make sure that the boundary between you and them and you stays clear, you know, because sometimes, you know, things can be so good that like you forget that it's important to remember that you have to come back to your own body, to your own self, and they have to as well. So then last but not least, we have the last part of the segueing from September 23rd to October 2nd. We go into Virgo, Mercury Retrograde Virgo in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So Pisces rising and sun signs. You guys might feel a lot of you know, duty, honor, and service are some keywords for this, but it's in the realm of relationships. So your main relationship is kind of repeating the Libra that I was talking about earlier, but because Libra rules the 7th house, so forgive me, but it's what it is here. But you might feel really good or really not. It depends on how it is, but you might feel really duty bound or service bound to your partnership, to your main squeeze, to your main romance. And if you happen to be more submissive or find a lot of grace and a lot of happiness in putting your energy into your main romance, into your main relationship, and there's a lot of give and take and it's balanced and you find a lot, it's really healthy, then muy perfecto. But you might be like thinking and contemplating the service and the duty that you do pour into your main relationship because Mercury is retrograde in Virgo there. You might think about how your main relationships affect your health as well, and also how your main routine, your daily routine in the mundane life, the adulting you do is also affected by your main relationship or your main people in your life. So it's a lot of, it seems like a lot of reflecting might be going on. Like how much you're able to make money too with your main earning gig. How is it affected by your romance, by your relationships in life? And also, you might be thinking about, are you too critical of your main romance in your life, and do you pick it apart too much, or are there problems that are glaringly obvious that you've been ignoring? So it's both polarities. And you know, you might be able to get out some paper and start writing down, you know, I don't feel very comfortable with this in my relationships, but this might be a solution, and kind of like map it out a little bit, you know, as a Virgo might do a list, you know, kind of put it on the paper, make it, instead of keeping it trapped in here, make it 3D, you know, don't make it overboard by making it a book, but a simple list and start there, you know. And then being able to communicate it with the partner, you know, or with a therapist or a coach, and then with a partner, you know. So Pisces, I think that is good for you guys. I hope I got you guys covered. And the last thing is that, you know, you guys might, the 1st and 7th house axis also deals with projection and mirroring. So you guys might also want to be careful of running into your partner or other people during the latter half of September, beginning October, maybe accusing you of being things that they're actually doing or being, or you doing that to them. So it might be a time where you have, you know, latter part of September, beginning October, be aware of what is yours and what is theirs, what is theirs and what is yours, and be like, kindly tell them, like, you know, I understand, you know, but, you know, that's yours and this is mine, and there's a division between us, you know, so we're good. And so all right, and I just wish you guys so much. Thank you so much, Pisces, for watching and listening. And If there's anything that resonated and comes to fruition, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Any questions as well. I squish you so much. And again, thank you for watching. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I hope I did. But if I didn't, because it's her sign, I'm going to say it again. My lovely and amazing resident artiste, my BFF, Victoria Musgrove with Flower Heart Studio, has made a gorgeous glyph, which I'm going to put somewhere around here. The Mercury Retrograde glyph, which she started, but she's going to be adding a lot more glyphs to my to my ensemble here for my channel. But she's starting with the Mercury Retrograde glyph, and she's going to be my merch designer. I'm so excited, and she's the one who made my beautiful intro video that is now on for all my videos from here on out. And I will have her link and her info in my description boxes from here on out. But if you'd like to reach out to her before her website is up, she's working on it now, please reach out to me in the comments or my email. Okay, guys, I squish you so much. And please feel free to check out my website as well if you're into getting a reading from me. And take care. Bye.